The River Between Us. Part 1. The Village of Light. In the heart of the lush, rolling hills of western Kenya, nestled between the emerald folds of the Nandi Escarpment, lay the quiet village of Kipkaren. Life here moved with the rhythm of the sun and the whisper of the wind through the maize fields. Children played barefoot in the red earth, elders gathered under the shade of acacia trees, and the river, called Chepcube by the locals, sang its eternal lullaby as it wound its way through the valley. It was in this tranquil setting that Achieng and Otieno lived. Achieng, a schoolteacher with a voice like birdsong, was known for her kindness and fierce intelligence. Otieno, a tall, soft-spoken man with a quiet strength, worked as a carpenter. Their love story was the kind that made the village believe in fate. They had grown up together, shared mangoes as children, and exchanged shy glances at the riverbank as teenagers. When they married under the golden light of a December sun, the entire village danced for 3 days. Their home was modest, a mud-walled house with a tin roof that sang in the rain, but it was filled with laughter, books, and the scent of Achieng's famous mandazi. They had one daughter, little Wanjiku, whose giggles echoed through the compound like wind chimes. Part 2. The Whispering Wind. But peace, like the morning mist, is fleeting. It began with whispers. Strange men in dark vehicles had been seen near the river. At first, no one paid much attention. Kipkaren was far from the chaos of Nairobi or Kisumu. But then, livestock began to disappear. First a goat, then 2 cows. Then one night the village elder's prized bull vanished without a trace. Otieno, ever the protector, joined the village watch. He would leave after dinner, armed with a flashlight and a panga, and return at dawn, his eyes bloodshot but determined. Achieng worried, but she knew better than to stop him. "We must protect what is ours," he would say, kissing her forehead. One night, as the moon hung low and full, Otieno didn't come home. Part 3. The River's Secret. Achieng waited by the door until the sun rose. When he still hadn't returned, she wrapped Wanjiku in a shawl and went to the river. The other men had returned, weary but safe. Otieno was not among them. "He said he was going to check the western ridge," said Mz Barasa, the elder. "We thought he came back before us." Panic bloomed in Achieng's chest. The villagers formed a search party. They combed the ridge, the maize fields, the river banks. For hours, there was nothing. Then, just as the sun began to dip, a boy screamed. Otieno's flashlight was found near the river, its lens cracked. Nearby, the earth was disturbed, signs of a struggle, but no blood, no body. Only silence. Part 4. The Stranger in the Market. Days turned into weeks. Achieng refused to believe he was dead. "He is alive," she insisted. "I would feel it if he were gone." Then, one market day in Eldoret, she saw him. Or thought she did. A man, tall and broad-shouldered with Otieno's gait, was walking through the crowd. But his face was hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat. Achieng pushed through the throng, calling his name. The man turned, just slightly, and vanished into the alleyways. She ran after him, heart pounding, but he was gone. That night she returned home shaken, and on her doorstep was a note. No envelope, just a folded piece of paper, damp from the evening dew. "Stop looking, he is gone, or you will be too." Part 5. The Unraveling. Fear crept into Achieng's bones. She stopped teaching. She barely ate. She kept Wanjiku close, never letting her out of sight. The villagers whispered. Some said she was losing her mind. Others believed her. They had heard stories of human trafficking rings, of organ harvesters, of men taken and never seen again. One night, Achieng heard footsteps outside. She peered through the curtain. A figure stood by the gate, watching. She screamed. The figure fled. The next morning, she found a second note. "You were warned." She went to the police. They shrugged. "Maybe he ran away," they said. "Men do that." But Achieng knew. Otieno would never leave her, not like that. Part 6. The Truth Beneath the River. Desperate, Achieng turned to a retired journalist in Eldoret named Camo. He had once exposed a smuggling ring in Mombasa and now lived in quiet exile. She told him everything. He listened, then nodded. "There's something happening along the river," he said. I've heard rumors, people disappearing, bodies never found. Together, they began to investigate. They followed the river's path, speaking to villagers, collecting stories. A pattern emerged: men vanishing near the water, always at night, always near the western ridge. Then, one night, they found it. A clearing hidden by thick brush where tire tracks led to a rusted gate. Beyond it, an abandoned colonial warehouse. Inside, the stench of rot, chains, bloodstains, and in a corner, a pile of clothes. Among them, Otieno's shirt. Part 7, The Final Descent. Camo took photos. They planned to go to the press. But before they could leave, headlights flooded the warehouse. Men with machetes and rifles surrounded them. Achieng and Camo ran, through the forest, across the river. Bullets whizzed past them. Camo was hit in the leg but urged her on. She made it back to Kipkaren. Camo did not. The next day, the warehouse was gone, burned to the ground. The police denied everything. Achieng tried to speak out, but no one listened. The threats returned. One morning, Wanjiku disappeared from the schoolyard. Her tiny shoe was found near the river. Part 8, The Silence That Remains. Achieng was never the same. She wandered the village, calling their names. Otieno, Wanjiku. Her voice cracked like dry earth. Eventually, she left Kipkaren. Some say she went to Nairobi. Others say she drowned herself in the river. But the villagers remember. They remember the love that once lit their village, the laughter that echoed through the maize fields, and the darkness that swallowed it whole. And sometimes, when the wind is just right, they say you can hear her voice by the river, whispering their names. Otieno, Wanjiku, gone but never forgotten.
Otieno, Wanjiku,